My name is Mark Nance. This is my son Carl, and I actually only started building Lego tanks about 2015. And I decided I wanted to try building a remote control one, and so I was able to gather up enough treads and some spring pieces for the suspension and put it together. It's all Lego. Everything's Lego. The controls, the suspension, the motors. That's cheating to use anything else, in my opinion. So. I start with a Technic frame for the suspension and the body, and then I just put plates around it for the armor. I'll either camouflage it like the gray and tan striping. I have a couple others that are gray with green striping, or I use some foliage pieces like the olive and the dark green leaf pieces to camo it.
Now, are these based on real tank and vehicle designs, or just kind of something you came up with?
This is kind of a tank destroyer. It's very loosely based on a German tank destroyer called a Sturmgeschütz from World War II. Only it had 6 road wheels, it only has 4. If I figured if I go any longer, I've tried to go any longer, it doesn't work. Okay. The turning is difficult, and the treads will kind of foul off the sprockets. Mm-hmm. And so the one with a gun on it has 2 of the extra large motors. They're slow, but they have a lot of power behind them. His has 4 of the medium motors, so it goes really fast. We've tested them indoors and outdoors. The 2 things that actually cause the most trouble with these is loose blades of grass and sunlight. Because these aren't radio controls, they're infrared light control, is sort of like similar to a television remote. And if I take it out and it's really bright and sunny, the sunlight will actually interfere with the signal, so I'll have to stand and shadow it before it can put it in my shadow before it'll respond sometimes. And little blades of grass, you look at the treads have little holes, like circular Technic holes to fit little pins in them. Blades of grass will actually go in those and catch them and cause it to stop.
So what's the range generally on the controller to the tanks?
I usually tend to stay within 6 feet of it, because after a little while, these don't have the best range as far as distance goes. I mean, it's not a problem. I like walking with it anyway. But I'd say about 10 feet or so.
Maximum before you start to run out there?
Feet. Right.
And how does parts tend to wear down when you've got moving parts and you're driving these around, or does stuff last pretty long with that?
Well, the parts... if it was really heavily geared, it would wear out probably because the gears will strip and become brittle, but I really don't have any gears on it. The motors are directly attached to the sprocket wheels. So there's the motor, sprocket wheel, there's no gearing in between. I actually tried to gear it up because I wanted to put a big wheel on the motor and attach a small wheel to the sprocket to get it really fast, and it didn't work. They would just grind together. And so it's just directly hooked up, so that wear out really doesn't hurt. I've driven it through our yard and through some kind of low dirt, it grinds the dirt into small little fine particles, and it hasn't gummed up the motors at all. They're really, really well done as far as quality and being able to take a lot of stuff without breaking down or becoming unusable.
Yeah, so good, strong vehicles there. Well, those are some really cool designs, and it's nice that you can drive them around the show here and the public can enjoy watching it. So thanks for talking to me about it. Appreciate it.